Hello guys, welcome again to another BTC update. I hope you are doing great today. So Bitcoin doing some interesting patterns in the charts, which we will talk about. Again, I'm very sorry for the lack of updates, but you know the deal already. I'm really busy with my private life, but I'm gonna try to be here as much as I can for you guys, especially when it comes to BTC and crypto. With that being said, I'm going to jump straight to the chart and see what's up with Bitcoin. So as you can see, last time we were talking, we were saying that Bitcoin usually likes to correct and then do these pattern formations where you dump, you correct, you pump slightly, then you dump again one more time. And that's what it did exactly, actually. You can see we couldn't hold our trend line around the 65k region, and then we retested again that 63 to 62k region right there. And if you watched my previous videos, you know that this actually came true 100%, exactly as predicted. You lose a key support, you're going to go to the secondary support. That's just basic TA. With that being said, we're still making higher lows on the small time frame, on the 4-hour time frame, and you are still potentially trading in this channel right here that we talked about last time. Now, key level to break is this heart line right here, this channel, which is coming in around 65.7, 65.5. So if you start to break above that with 4-hour candles and closing them above, then you most likely will go for the retest of that higher trend line right here, of this channel. Now, one thing to note though for sure is that BTC is forming some bearish pattern, as you can see here. If I zoom out slightly, this is a rising wedge formation. Now you can call it a pennant. Some people are calling it a pennant. To me, actually, to be honest, it doesn't really matter whether it's a pennant or a rising wedge formation or whatever it is. I care about the breakout points, which are the resistance trend line and the support trend line. And as long as BTC is trading in this channel right here, it's still healthy from a micro perspective. Once you lose either, then we change our analysis. So if you break the trend line right here, which right now is coming in around $64,000, if you break that and you start to close under it with four-hour candles under, especially going to that 61k region, then that most likely will tell you that this bearish pattern formation, or this pattern, it could be a pennant which breaks to the upside, but breaking this to the upside is going to cause BTC to go parabolic. Basically, breaking to the downside will cause BTC to enter a correction, like we talked about, most likely retesting this trend line if you lose $55,000. But everything right now from a macro perspective still working good. It's not looking bad, like I talked about in my previous video. From a micro perspective, it's kind of looking iffy, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to go to this daily time frame and show you right here what I'm seeing. So what I'm seeing right now from a technical analysis standpoint, I'm seeing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave, and this fifth wave, it looks like a truncated wave. Now, it's not technically a truncated wave. A truncated wave basically means an irregular fifth wave, where basically the price doesn't go above the third wave, or the fifth wave doesn't go above the third wave. Now, granted, it didn't go that much, but I think this is a legit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if this is a legit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, usually these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are followed by ABC corrections, especially when you reach that 5 area right here. So if this is a 5, then you had your A right here already done, from $69,000 to $62,000, and now you're potentially going for that B, which could take you all the way up to $66,000, $67,000, and then you're gonna go for that C. Now C kind of differs. C could be 1618 of A, could be 1 of A, could be 1.5 of A, or it could be a truncated C as well. So you could probably do a C that is higher than an A, which will be very healthy also, and very surprising, because these don't usually play like this. An example of an ABC wave correction where BTC did a 1.618 of A was this one right here, where you went to with your A, your B, and then your C was a 1618. And you can measure that using your fib extensions. So you take it from the top of A to the bottom of A, and then you pull that out to the top of B like that, and then you're gonna see that your C went to the 1618. Now if you do the same process right there, assuming we go to 66, 65, 66.5, just an assumption, right? If you take your A wave like this all the way down like that, and you pull it out to your potential B wave to at least 66.7, something along that line, the region right there. And you can see that your 1618 is around 55.9, and then your other targets, which are also logical, so you can go to the 0.618, you can go to the 1, you can go to the 1.32, you can go to any of these targets, but your 1618 is there. Now if your 1618 is there, then this is a heavier correction, a stronger correction than usual, and it's not going to be very surprising actually, as long as you hold above that $53,000 region. Your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave correction is still in play, is potentially in play. Now if you lose that right here, we're gonna reanalyze the wave counts again and see what's up with it. But there's a high possibility that this is a truncated 5, and then this is an ABC correction. And I'm saying this because you're entering what we call an ending diagonal. So this is like when your fifth wave reaches the last part and tries to correct for the ABC, it starts to form a rising wedge formation. And the opposite is true about the corrective waves. So when you're in a corrective wave 2, you kind of start forming a falling wedge formation, as you can see right there. So your corrective waves form falling wedges in order to break to the upside, and your impulsive waves start to form rising wedges, as you can see right here, which tend to break to the downside. Now, again, from a macro perspective, this is BTC still looking great. From a macro perspective, BTC looking great. From a micro perspective, still looking healthy because we're still doing higher highs and higher lows. And as long as these higher highs and lows hold, BTC is good to go. When you lose that low right here, so if you lose 64 and start tapping that 61K region, it's gonna get potentially ugly. The line in the sand will be 60. You drop below 60, most likely you'll retest that 55 to 57K region one more time before deciding where to go. Now, why do I sound slightly bearish on the micro? Because your three day time frame, your indicators actually on your 3-day time frame have crossed bearish. Well, not bearish, but they're telling you the end of the rally is there. You're basically out of steam because your stochastic RSI is below 80 level. So that kind of signals to you that you're out of steam. Also, you can see here the divergence on the 3-day chart. You're pumping higher on the price action, whereas on the MACD you're pumping lower. Excuse me. And you're potentially going to form a bearish MACD cross on the 3-day chart. And you can see when you do that, when you lose that 80 level on the stochastic on the 3-day chart, you can see the correction that follows after, right? Now, one exception would be, now actually here it did happen again one more time. As you can see, you lost the 3-day 80 level, and you enter a correction to below 20, and then you ripped one more time. Now, keep in mind, this is an exception, and this will be the warning sign that we will be waiting for, is if BTC does a similar pattern to this on the stochastic RSI, where it drops and it starts to form divergences, because all of these are divergences. You need to go above 80 level on your stochastic RSI, especially on the daily and the 3-day chart, to signal a healthy upward rally. Like something like this. Healthy upward rally, you reach a correction, you drop, and then you needed this to go up one more time, but it didn't. Instead, the price went up, and then you formed a divergence, and then another divergence, and then another divergence, and these were the warning signs that, yo, be careful, BTC is going to is not looking very good, not looking very healthy. But you shouldn't worry about these, because you can actually play the corrections. So when you see this divergence happening, if you assume it's the end of the world and you're going to dump like a 55% dump, you can just play it as a correction, rather than a small correction. DCA slightly the dip, don't go all in, so on and so forth. Of course, not financial advice, but this is what I did. And then finally, when you reach the ending, you probably can get out with most of your portfolio, but leave some in. No one gets out completely. Also, your RSI is below 70 on the 3-day chart. On the weekly chart, still looking healthy though on the weekly. The only thing that I don't like is this divergence right here. But like I've been telling you guys for a while, if you lose the 80 level on the weekly chart, that most likely will signal a heavier correction, something similar to this where you lost it and you entered a heavier correction. It's not going to be the end of the world. As you can see, you can lose it and you can still pump higher and higher, but it's just a be careful sign, especially when you drop below the 20 level and you see your price consolidating or still pumping up. That's just like a warning to just get out, because it's not going to last. The pump is not going to last. So yeah, so to summarize right now, everything, smaller time frames look okay. They don't look bad. We're still making higher highs and higher lows on the 4 hour and on the 1 hour, as you can see. We are still trading slightly in this channel. We tried to break above it slightly, but we failed. We're going for that retest of the heart line coming in around like 65.7. If we do break above the retest, just be careful, because it's not butterflies and rainbows from there. Like I said, this could be a potential B wave, which would take you to around anything between the 0.5 all the way to the 0.7. BTC loves these levels, 0.7, 0.74. You know this already if you watched my previous video. But of course, the golden pocket is 0.5 to 0.618. So basically, boys and girls, after this move, Bitcoin needs to break the all-time high one more time in order for all of this ABC talk and this corrective phase to be invalidated. But I don't think it's going to do it. And in my opinion, BTC needs to retrace and needs to consolidate slightly lower, needs to reset the indicators, needs to cool down slightly to go for that healthy rally one more time. We need something similar to this to go for one more upside. And this will only be reached if you break 60, and if you break 55, you probably retest that area right here. So yeah, like I said, this looking like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an ABC wave correction to the downside, a truncated 5, slightly truncated, not that much, because we did pump higher, technically speaking. But we will know in the next couple of days. The key levels to watch out for, in my opinion, right now are $67,000 on the top side, and on the bottom we have 60. Well, if you lose 64, you're most likely lost the trend line already, and this is a breakdown already. But you have to wait for confirmation of the breakout, because sometimes it could be a fake out where you drop and then you climb back in. You need either a break with force or a retest of the support trend line as resistance and then break downwards. That will signal that the breakdown is real. If this does break down, then the technical target of a rising wedge is the bottom of the wedge, which is coming in around $57,000. But by then, if you really go to 57, most likely you'll go to 55, and most likely you'll go to retest that trend line one more time, wherever we are. So thank you again for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Bitcoin still on a macro perspective looking great. On a micro, looking like it's still in a corrective phase. I don't think this is over still yet. I believe, in my personal opinion, we are doing an ABC correction, and hopefully after that C correction is finalized, we can see where Bitcoin decides to head next. So thank you again, guys, for watching the video. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Please make this channel grow so I can keep posting all of this information for you guys. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description below. And if you want to inquire about my private Discord group, my Telegram is in the description below. You can message me there and talk to me. Thank you again, and I hope you have a nice week next week, and I'll see you again next time.